this doesn't spin forever. We are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name's Lenny. This is Big Girls Really Do Cry, and this is also the Banish bin. And I have a lovely guest over here who is Lee. Lee is also KOLA flipper on. He has a YouTube channel. I have linked it in the description box below. So if you're not following him, please go over and follow him. He does some amazing videos from car boot hauls to like the cleaning things. It's like your cleaning is amazing. You know what I mean? Like proper amazing stuff. Like that's in shoes and leather, and you do like different ones like that, don't you?
Yeah.
And what is your? Sorry.
I was going to say that Ugg boot cleaning one's had something like 12,000 views now. So
Yeah.
by far the most views I've ever had.
I suppose a lot of people who own Ugg boots would want to know how to clean them and stuff if they've been caught out in the rain or whatever, because they're not really meant for getting wet, are they really?
No, I learned to clean them because my wife went out and got her Ugg boots wet, so I had to learn how to clean them. So
yeah, and obviously it'll come in handy for your
definitely
work,
for making a little bit of money on the side.
Yeah. I noticed. I think the last one is it's. I don't know if you've built the shed. I just remember I haven't watched it as yet, but I do recall seeing a shed in it.
There's I'm going to build a mega tat shed soon, but I needed extra storage because Mrs. KOLA flipper was not massively happy with all the tat in the house, so I had to build some outdoor storage. So I did a little time lapse of a small shed build.
Yeah,
so that's been up recently.
Definitely. So hopefully, as I said, if you're not subscribed, please go and subscribe. The link is in the description. Okay, let's say some hellos before we get started. Right. Go right up. Karen was first in. Hello, Karen. Hi, Tom and Belle. Karen likes how organised your shelves are behind you. It appeals to Karen's organisation thing, that definitely. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Lex. Hi, Peter. Hi, Ian. Hi, Helen. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Ali. Hi, Nia. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Joan. Hi, Laura. Hi, Kath. This is starting to get longer. To say hello to everybody. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Rebecca. And sifting through everyone else's hellos, you know what I mean? Hi, Richard. Hi, Ian. Right, we're at the bottom. So, hi, Val. Just caught you there. So I've wrote down in the order that I gave you them, so I can keep track myself, because you'll tell us what the first thing is, and if I don't write it down, it's gone. My brain just doesn't compute. All right. So the first category. Oh, I should do a little explanation of what this is, shouldn't I? So basically, the Banish bin, if you haven't watched this before, is a bit like Room 101. If you haven't watched Room 101, I've basically given Lee 8 categories, and he has to choose 3 things from each category that he wants to banish, basically. If he chooses the things, he puts his argument forward for the things he wants to banish, and then I'll possibly say of a thing, depending on what it is, obviously, if it's something that I like or think I have an argument for. And then either all 3 or 2 items will go back into the side chat, and they'll decide what actually is banished out of those 2. I think that made sense somehow.
Sounds good.
All right then. So, first category I gave you was songs.
I had to really think about this because there are quite a lot of songs I am not a fan of. But I've got 2 from, I think one's late 90s, one's early 2000s, and I got something a bit more recent. But first one, right. I hate Mambo Number 5 by Lou Bega.
Right.
It's, I don't. just reminds me of terrible parties back at uni, and it's a song that I'm not going to make a very good argument for why I hate it, but it just builds. I can feel the anger rising up through my torso, and I need to leave. There's just something about it that makes me hate it, and I'm going to have exactly the same argument with my second song as well, which is I can't explain why I hate it, and it's that Cha Cha Slide.
Right?
Do you know that one as well?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know what it is about those two. They just make me feel angry and not a very nice person. So
Angry.
yeah, so I haven't really got particularly good explanations for why I hate them, but those two I really dislike. And then the third one,
Mhm.
it's a lot more recent, and I don't like it for very different reasons. And it's WAP by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
All right.
And is that one that you're aware of?
And yes, I think I know what it is. Um.
If you're not sure, maybe later go onto YouTube and have a look for the uncensored version.
Yeah. I
And
think. Yeah.
I'm I'm not I'm not a prude. I've got no problems with swearing, but that is absolute filth. I've got no problem with songs that have sexual references.
No.
But I think I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a parent now. Well, I say now, but I've got an 11-year-old, and it just worries me that that sort of stuff
Yeah.
um, can maybe give kids the wrong impressions and as they're growing up. So if they were to hear it, so yeah, I hate that and think that should be banished for very different reasons. The other two, I just hate them because they're crap. But that one, that one that just I don't know. Yeah, growing up, I listened to lots of music with swearing and sexual references and whatever, but that just, yeah, that's filth,
Mhm.
and yeah, not a fan.
Right. So, number 5. It doesn't bother me, I have to say. Um. I think it was like overplayed at the time. Like, so many songs are they just become overplayed. Like, and it's like to the point that you just can't. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, it just comes on. Um. But I think it's also one of them things that, like, the majority of people, if they're out on the drink and they've had quite a few, they're like on the dance floor, like, oh, like, kind of thing. Um, and kind of the same with the cha-cha slide, in the sense that everyone thinks that they can do it, and you know what I mean. And essentially, it's just following steps in it. It's
It's
like,
kind of line dancing, I guess.
eh?
It's almost like line dancing. They can just, yeah, like you say,
Yeah.
follow the steps.
But I remember my kids. Well, my daughter more so. She liked it. You know what I mean. She could do all of the things, but like, again, it's not one that bothers me either. But Cardi B, she's like, she's my daughter. I mean, she's 25. My daughter, so some of her earlier stuff, my daughter listened to, and it was just like, I don't know. But this, it gets to the point like where there's like no limits for her.
Yeah,
She's like, you know what I mean? It's like she
yeah.
just
All
doesn't.
there is no filter at all. It's just
Nothing
pure
in
filth.
no way, and you kind of, she just doesn't care, or if she does, she doesn't show that she does. Um, I don't think I'm bothered enough to save any of them, to be honest, and obviously not Cardi B. So I will let the tact decide. Um, so if you want to banish Mambo number 5, just write 5. If you want to banish the Cha Cha slide, just write slide. And if you want to banish Cardi B, just WAP, I should say, then put B. It's easier, isn't it? Let them decide. I've got a feeling where that might go, for those that know of. That is, anyway. Um, but yeah, we shall see what they decide. Yeah, and see the
Ooh.
bees.
Yeah.
Yep. Hi Maggie. Hi Chrissy. Hi Sylvia. Don't have to say anymore, do I?
No. I like that bad wolf. Whap crap.
Oh crap, yeah. Straight in there. All right. So one down. Okay. Moving on to the next category. It is things people do that obviously annoy you.
My first one. We all know how a telephone works. You put it up to your ear and you talk to it. I don't understand people who walk along the street holding their phone, talking to it like it's a piece of toast. What? It has an earpiece and it's got the microphone, so it has to be held up to your head. Not talking like this. It's ridiculous. Why? We don't want to hear your conversation. I mean, you're always going to hear the person who's holding the phone as part of the conversation. I don't want to hear it on speaker. Don't walk around talking to it like you're eating a bit of toast. That winds me up. Dawdlers.
Dawdlers, did you say?
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's a combination of dawdlers and people who aren't aware of their surroundings. And I've got no problem with people walking at different speeds, a bit slower, fine. Don't take up the entire pavement. If you're going to be walking a bit slower, maybe walk on one side. Be aware of your surroundings. And in the local shopping centre, I got stuck behind someone and I was just being silly and I was walking, sort of pretending to kick them behind them because it was so slow, and then they stopped and I ended up kicking them. So that was a little bit awkward. So yeah, just people who aren't. I suppose I wasn't aware of my surroundings then, but yeah, so people who are not aware of their surroundings and dawdle and just move out of the way.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
third one, people who just don't have the common courtesy to say thanks or show an acknowledgement for when you've done something. So even little things when it's holding a door open for someone,
Yeah.
just a little, even if it's just some eye contact and a nod or something like that, it's absolutely fine. Thanks, cheers, whatever. And I don't know whether it's I'm noticing it more as I'm getting older, or whether people are just becoming more and more rude. But a little bit of common courtesy and showing appreciation for someone who's, whether it is
Manners,
just a
isn't
door
it?
or something, it's just a bit of common, like you say, manners, common decency. And yeah, either I'm an asshole and people, sorry, and people don't want to say thanks to me, or I don't know. It's yeah, I just noticed it more and more as I'm getting more and old and miserable.
Okay, so to run through them, I'll start off with that one since we've just finished up. But I totally agree on that. It annoys me. Like I even say thanks or excuse me or sorry, even if it's not me. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know, I just brought up like that, like with manners. So like even if it wasn't me who was in the way or whatever, or if you know, I'll still see it. When I
Definitely,
first went
sometimes
to
there's someone will bump into me and I say, "Oh, sorry," and like you say,
yeah,
it's not your fault, but it's just an immediate reaction
yeah,
to apologise to I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah.
diffuse
And
the
I'm the
situation.
same. But it bugs me, and my friend, she used to make me laugh because if she hold the door open and then they just walk through it like you would just stand there or paid to stand there, whatever for them. You know what I mean? And it
Yeah,
used to bug the life out of her. So she used to shout after them, "You're welcome," get loud and stuff.
love it.
um, you know what I mean? Like, and she would, or she, if someone say, or she would pass someone something and they didn't say, "Oh, thanks," she would, she would just go, "You're welcome." You know what I mean? But I was waiting for the moment she started taking things back and saying like, "All right, if you didn't say thanks, I'll just take it back." But Yeah, definitely annoying. The dogless thing, I have issues with that all the time because obviously being in a wheelchair, people tend to just stop in the middle of the path, and I can't get round the the
Oh, of
slightest.
course.
And they'll have like, if I'm going around the trolley, like if I'm going around where the shops are, for instance, they'll have the trolley school width one way, and then they'll be like the other way, and I can't get past it all. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then, and I
It's
mean
that
mostly
being
if I
aware, isn't it?
yeah, if I do say, excuse me, then, they will say, sorry, because, they might have just gone into a daze or whatever. Or, like, oh, you're trying to go past them, but then they'll keep walking over. And so I try and go past. But then for some reason, they turn into crabs and start going sideways across the path. And I'm like, okay, I don't mean to crash into you, but I'm looking like I'm going in a minute. So, yeah, it's just, you know, it's annoying. Right, this first one though, people who speak on I'm guilty of it, right? But I'm guilty of it because my phone is broke. So I can only use the speaker, otherwise
Okay,
people
so you
can't
have an
hear it.
excuse then.
I
Okay.
have an excuse. I wouldn't do it normally because I don't want everyone to hear my conversation, to be honest. You know what I mean? And like, for whatever reason, but no one can hear us if I don't have the speaker on. So, which, like I said, is annoying when I type, but I wouldn't have done it otherwise. So I'm not gonna like save it for any reason because I wouldn't have usually done it. But anyway, again, not saving anything, so I will let the chat decide. Karen says, I always say thanks for my dad when I'm next to him in the car, and then I tell him off for not putting his hands up. I do it like even though I'm in the wheelchair, like I end up going like this. And I'm sitting and just do that to hold people on, like if I'm crossing a crossing or something. Oh god. But anyway, so people in the chat, the choice is yours. Do you want to banish people who speak on loudspeaker and just put speaker? Dawdlers, I'll just say just put slow. And or people who have no manners, we'll just say manners. I can't hear my phone when I put it to my ear because my head is too big to have it near my mouth and my ear. Well, then you've also got an excuse. Or you could get one of them, what is it, like what are they called? Headphones.
Well, the headphones, yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to think what was there, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, it's a close call, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
it's
gone to
going manners, I
manners.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely gone to manners, but it's more loudspeaker people than I thought. Especially if they're having like conversations that no one else should hear.
Yeah. Again, people not having that sort of decency filter.
Yeah, and then you kind of like.
I do wonder if they're just showing off or looking for attention sometimes.
Could be. I think they just don't care. You know what I mean? I just don't think they care. You don't get phoned enough to make that kind of investment. Is that a word? Phoned enough? Rang enough? I don't know. I don't speak English anyways, barely, so can't go on. All right. So obviously I'll give that to people with no manners there. So moving on to the next category, which is food.
I struggled a bit with this because I eat pretty much anything. I think the first one, paella. Now, I like rice. I like seafood. I like the stock. I like all the constituent parts of a paella, but I don't like the fact it's been cooked and left the damn shells in and like entire prawns. By all means, get the prawn heads and the shells and make up a fish stock and cook it in there. By the time I've fished out all the bits that I don't want to put in my mouth, the bits that you can't eat, my dinner's cold. And it winds me up. I like the taste of it. I like everything about it other than the bloody bit. So if I make a paella here, I will deshell the prawns and everything else so that I can do it all in one go. And I know it's the traditional way, and I've tried to like it whenever we've been overseas, and thought, you know what, I'll get a traditional paella.
Yeah.
And it just winds me up because I end up with dirty bloody fingers. I've got food all up under my fingernails. I smell of fish, and my dinner's cold, and that just winds me up. So just cook it without the manky bits in it. Use that as stock. Put it in so I just can eat my dinner with a fork. Thanks very much. So yeah, paella would be the first one.
Right.
Second one, I eat most things. I like meats, vegetables, fruits, everything. Aubergine, I don't know what it is about it. I don't know whether it's the taste or whether it's the texture. It just makes me want to hurl. I think it's a combination of the taste and the texture. I can't keep it down. I
Yeah,
hate
I agree
aubergine.
with you.
So, yeah, not me. Thank you very much. And this is a bit of an odd one. I've got no problems with vegetarians or vegans. What I
Mm-hmm.
think is ridiculous is vegan meat. By all means, if you want to eat non-animal sourced products and whatever else, yeah, that's great. I don't get vegan meat. Why would you be a vegan or a vegetarian and want your meal to look like a burger or a sausage? Just have a nice vegetarian or a vegan meal. There are so many options out there. I
Yeah.
don't see why you'd try to make it taste or look like meat. It seems stupid. And I think something that really sort of pushed me over the edge on this was I saw that there are now vegan butchers. It's not you're not butchering an animal. If the vegan butcher, surely that's just the greengrocers. Why are you call? So they've got stuff. They've turned these plant-based products into meat-looking things, and they're calling it. They're selling it in a vegan butcher's, and it's just it just winds me up. So it's
Hmm.
anything in that category.
Okay, right. I do like paella. I agree with you. Whenever I used to make it before, again, I would be like you. I wouldn't have all the faff because it's a faff essentially. So if we're just if if you mean the faff of it, then fair enough. I'll agree with that. You know what I mean? Because like you, I do like the taste of it. It's really nice. Um, aubergines. I don't think I've tried it. What does it taste like?
Vomit. No, I
It's probably not best asking you really because you don't like them.
yeah, it's just I think it's the texture more than the taste that I hate. It's just kind of a horrible slimy mess.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Um, I don't think I would like it because I'm a bit picky anyway. So probably not. Um, and I've never wanted to try it, so that's yeah. So the vegan meat thing, I don't know where I stand with that. I get what you're saying, I really do, but I don't know if it's just a case of so like they're all the same, if that makes sense. So like if
mm,
everyone's having a burger and chips or whatever, then theirs look the same. I don't know if it's that's the reason.
maybe.
Um, I think Susan wrote something. Wait a minute, I'll go back. Yeah, she said, I get vegan meat. People who want to be ethical for whatever reason, but still love and hanker for the actual taste of meat. So
But it doesn't taste of meat. Well, the ones that I've
hmm.
tried a few because
Or maybe they
like you
can
say,
like fool themselves into it.
yeah.
If
I
that
mean, we
makes sense.
thought ethical reasons. We thought okay, we don't eat a huge amount of meat.
No,
We like meat, but we don't have it every day, and sometimes we'll just have a little bit of meat, whatever. But
hmm,
we thought let's try and have like a completely meat free day once a week,
yeah,
and we tried. like the soy mince and the corn, and we tried a few different things that were the meat style variants of
Yeah,
vegetarian type food, and
I've had
it didn't look like it didn't taste like it, and then we thought, well, this is just stupid, let's just cook a vegetarian meal with vegetables once a week and not try and do some sort of meat
yeah,
substitute, because it was
yeah.
pointless and it was horrible and it was a waste of time, in my opinion.
A lot of people are saying like the vegan cheese is criminal. Uh,
Oh, I love cheese, but not vegan cheese. Never tried vegan cheese.
John says Beyond Burgers taste like meat apparently, or at least
Oh,
they give the. I'm assuming they give her the taste of it. So, um,
fair enough.
the record rack says I've been vegetarian over 40 years. No Linda McCartney or corn back then. We had to just knit our own muesli. Your own muesli. It's different. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I do. But then I don't know if it's just to make it, like especially for younger children, maybe to make it look like it's the
But
same as
then
other kids as
my two then
well.
thought my two, when we tried to give them vegan or or whatever, it was either corn or the soy mince thing, and they were like, what is this? They thought it was meat, and then they spat it out. So it was okay, we'll just do something vegetable based instead of using the substitutes. But maybe it's to try and coax people into being like full on meat
Yeah.
eaters, into being more ethical. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, but
Well, yeah. Like
anyway.
I've got a friend. She's vegan. She's got like a farm. She just rescues and all sorts. But she doesn't like her children eat meat. One minute they're not, one minute they are, because they're like the sort of torn, I suppose, like with it. But she doesn't like, she doesn't. She just sort of tells them how it is. They know kind of what's happening, and it's their choice that she makes it.
Yeah,
And I guess that's all you can do. You know what I mean? Like
it's, it's,
I don't
it's
know.
funny.
I was
My
going to
two, they saying they love animals and they're really cute, but they like the taste of meat better. So,
yeah, well, that's it. It's like kids are, what kids are. So I don't know. My daughter was like vegetarian for about 6 months, and then she went back. I think it's just I don't know the exact reason, and that's the only things I can come up with. It doesn't necessarily bother me, to be honest, whether it says vegan sausages or not. Um, I don't know, because you know, who's to say that meat? Well, I suppose where the name came from, like how it was decided that was what it was called, and then you could go back, I suppose. Um, I don't know, because I suppose like for me it doesn't bother me, but then I don't even know how actual vegans feel about it. Would they prefer that it wasn't called meat? Because essentially, like, especially if a vegan,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Would they prefer that? Because if
there are plenty of lovely vegan
yeah,
and
yeah,
vegetarian meals out there that don't have to have it as a pretend meat in there, but
but is it
it's probably the
the
people trying to
pretend
transfer over.
is it the pretend meat that bothers you more? Like in terms of like I have tried corn mince. Like when my daughter was doing the vegetarian thing, we had corn mince once, and I ate it. It was okay, but to say it didn't have any um what's the word, substantial, like there was just no,
Yeah,
it was very like there was no, I can't think of the word I'm
what, no
thinking
bite
of.
to it, or
Yeah, there was no bite to it. It was very, you know what I mean, like
yeah.
um Chrissy's vegan. She just eats whole foods. I'm a vegetarian but eat fish as well. Is that a pescatarian then, if you eat fish? Is it? I don't know.
I think so.
Anyway, Linda McCartney once said she was trying to attract the lorry drivers. Was she?
Not sure if it worked.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not gonna save any of them. I'll let the chat decide. Like I said, now it doesn't bother me enough to sort of save it. Whether I would if you know if I was, I don't know. Whether they feel different about it or not, I don't know. Um, so people in the chat, do you want to banish paella? Would that just be like proper paella, or if you make it yourself, is it all right because you can cut them bits
Paella
out?
with the bits in. Just
Yeah, so with the shells
there's
and
no need to have the shells in.
yeah. So just if you want to banish paella, put paella. If you want to banish aubergines, put aubergine, and if you want to banish vegan meat, put vegan meat, or just put meat. It's easier, isn't it? Then we'll see what people decide. Isn't the aubergine sign rude?
Yes.
I've seen a couple of people use it, and then I was like, I'm sure that's rude.
Oh, there's quite a lot of paellas in there.
Yeah, I think quite a lot of people don't like seafood. From what I know a lot of people who don't like it. I know my kids
Love
don't like
seafood.
it. Well, not my son. My daughter doesn't like it. She can't stand the smell of fish. Absolutely love fish, me.
I love fish.
Yeah, it's definitely paella. So
That was
what?
surprising. I thought it was going to be the aubergine, but
Oh,
yeah,
and
it is
that's just
paella.
the fatty bit of it because, like you said,
Yeah,
it is
yeah, it
fatty
is a
in it.
faff. Yeah.
Mm. If you have to, that's why I've never understood why people like to just eat lobsters or lobster because like
It's a faff. It's
the fat.
delicious, but it's a faff.
Yeah,
You get covered in it, so yeah.
yeah. In like, if it takes you 3 hours to eat it, and I love it when people say that, Tam. I don't like fish that's too fishy. Well, what other kind of fish is there that are fishy? Fishy fish? I know it tends to be like the oily ones, isn't it? Like salmon and or what else? Like kippers and stuff like that in it.
Oh, so I'm
That
not a fan
people.
of kippers, but most fish, I love fish. It's so good.
I love kippers. I like smoked haddock. As my mum used to do it in the pan on the
Oh
top
wow.
and that, and she used to make kedgeree.
Oh
With,
nice.
yeah, loved. Like we always got that the day after, so I was like, yeah. All right, so moving on to the next category, it's things people wear.
This first one probably comes back from just how we were brought up. So I was born, I grew up in the 80s, born 1979. And when you're growing up, when you're a teenager, you would laugh
Yeah,
at people who would wear socks and sandals. Now, all of a sudden, because of Kanye West, everyone seems to think it's acceptable to wear socks and sliders in public. I
yeah,
don't know. No problem with sliders, got no problem with socks. Don't wear them at the same time, especially if I can see them. You look ridiculous. We would have mocked you mercilessly back when I was a teenager, and now I don't get it. I do not understand. I've seen people walking in socks and sliders in the snow and in the rain. What is wrong with people? So yeah, it's just ridiculous. So that's my first one.
right.
Okay, this is going to be a bit of a weird one. Wearing the wrong bra. So there are
Are you,
lots of different
are you talking
bras.
about for yourself, Lee,
Not for
or
me, no, not for me. Only on the weekends. It's just since lockdown, there's been a lot more people running, for example. If you're going
all
to go
right?
for a run, it might be an idea to wear a sports bra because you're not going to do yourselves any favors if you're not. It looks painful the way that some people run. So just having the right bra for the right situation is probably a good idea.
Yes.
So yeah, that's one of mine. I guess it's yeah. So I'll leave it at that. And the third one is a term called ankling, where you basically have slightly gents, for example, having a slightly cropped trouser so you see their ankle. Now, I don't have a problem with that all the time. So if you've got a slim cut pair of jeans or trousers and they're a little bit cropped, and you've got a nice smart pair of trainers on, or you can wear some sort of like driving shoe or boat shoe or something like that, it can look very smart. What I don't get is when I've seen people wearing a full shirt, tie, suit, trousers. The trousers are too short, and they're wearing proper like office type formal shoes, but they've got bare ankles. I do not understand that at all. It looks ridiculous. If you're wearing a suit, put some goddamn socks on, because you look like a spanner. So ankling, not a problem if you're wearing the right sort of trousers and shoes, but not in a work suit or a formal sort of suit. So yeah.
Okay. The ankling thing, like, that sort of takes us back to Michael Jackson in the sense of, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I mean, he used to have his white socks, like, didn't he? But and
But think that with bare ankles, it looks ridiculous.
Yeah, but also, like, I don't think it looks right. I mean, you could wear, like, this sort of 3/4 trousers, but if you sort of this short, like, God, this short, like, round your ankle area, it just looks like they don't fit you, to me.
Yeah, it looks like you've grown out of your school trousers and your mum
Yeah,
hasn't bought you a new pair yet.
exactly. And you're 35, but that's not the point, is it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, I find it a bit weird. Like, so I get that one. Wearing the wrong bra, yeah. Especially if you're doing sports, running, because you could literally,
You can hurt yourself.
So I suppose it's a bit hypnotizing, isn't it? Like a bit
distracting
like
for drivers.
Well, yeah, a bit like when Linford Christie was running.
Yes, yeah. Having the right support, but it looks painful. And I'm great that people are out there exercising. Just get the right equipment to protect yourself.
Yeah, I mean, Linford could have done with some of my dad's wife runs. It would have worked.
Yeah, good.
That kind of thing. And the Saxon sandals, worse than the slider ones, are the actual sandal ones. The proper Jesus sandals in France, but that's what I'm saying. My brother wears them, and he wears socks with them, and I was like, literally wanted to disown him. I did. I was like, I'm not coming. You're 40. You know what I mean? What's wrong? And my daughter came the other week, and I was on the phone, right? I was out, so I was coming back, and my son was taking the mickey out of her for our shoes, because he was saying, "Oh, you're like 40. You look like a 40-odd-year-old woman, right?" And she was like, David's taking the mickey out for me sandals, like, because I look like a 40-odd-year-old, and I'm like, all right. Anyway, when I got here, she's got some of them Birkenstocks, is it?
Oh yeah.
Now, when I was young, right, women in the 60s, sort of 50s and 60s, wore them, and they had their like big flowery dresses and a pair of those Birkenstocks on. And she went, and I was like, you can't, you're 25, you know what you're doing now. They're in fashion about them in River Island, and I was like, really? Like,
it's crazy. And I know fashions change. I know they change and things go around and around, but some things I just don't get them. They look
And to me, they were so awful. Like, we wouldn't have been seen, like, dead one type of thing. It was that kind of thing. That horrified. So, like, for her to be wanting them back in fashion, and I'm like, it's just strange.
I've just had a thought. I'm feeling I need to take one of these back, because when you forget something off your list and then something comes in and you think, I really, really hate that. I'm going to take back ankling, even though it looks ridiculous, and I'm going to put in ladies' wedge shoes. Now, even though I sell them, and I make quite decent money out of selling them, I just think they look ugly. There's something about them that makes. I know that they're going to be comfortable. I get it, but I hate them. they offend me. Not so much that it stops me selling them, because if I can make a bit of money out of it, that's absolutely fine. But I hate wedges, and I would, if I didn't mention that I hated wedges, I don't think I could live with myself. So yeah, I hate wedges that much. So I've replaced ankling with that.
I've never really been one for wedges. I'm guessing they're like the cork type ones, like, is that what you mean? Like,
yeah, cork ones with rope, wooden ones, just everything. I hate, ugly, clunky. They make your feet look like you've got hooves. I don't get it.
They do have a little bit of what was it back in the 70s that they're like get huge things. What they're called? What people wore with flares. And then
Platforms.
Right, platforms. That's it. They have a vibe of platform for me. Never really bothered me. I've never bought them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't bother me. Stephen says, a nice cork wedge, sling back, and I'm ready for the summer. Karen says, heads up, ladies, if you ever meet Lee, make sure you're wearing a proper fitting bra and don't wear wedges. Yeah. Yeah, everyone's in.
And I know people love their wedges, and I know that they're comfortable, but I just think they look ugly, and that's.
So is this one come about since you started like reselling?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I probably hated them a little bit before that, but
never really come across them.
But I kind of hate myself for selling them, but the reality is it's paying extra off the mortgage, so I don't care. There is a I'm not bothered. Not bothered enough to not sell them.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So there's nothing for me to save. So I shall let the chat decide. If you want to banish wedges, then put wedges. If you want to banish wrong fitting bras, just put wrong. It's easier. And if you want to banish socks and sandals, then you're good and you're correct. No, man. If you want to banish socks and sandals, then just write sandals. We'll go with that. You are alienating the women. I'm still here.
Chrissy, I'm not trying to banish women at all.
No. Okay. I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong, Susan. How rude. It's a lot for wrong bras. Yeah. I think it's the wrong bras. Hi, Mandy. It's a few for the others, but the wrong fitting bras. Okay. There you go. So, moving on to the next category, it is films.
Okay.
Or films, as everyone else says.
I'm happy to go with films. That's fine.
Films.
I got two on here that they are meant to be masterpieces, or they're by visionary directors, and I don't know whether it is that I just don't get them, or if it's just that they're a pile of poop that some people like, and I don't understand why. So the first one was a recent remake of the Mad Max film, so Mad Max Fury Road with Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron, and that was by director George Miller. And kind of liked the original one a bit, but I was not like a massive fan of it.
Yeah.
But then when he got this ridiculous budget, it was just, it wasn't a good film. Visually, it was spectacular, but it was ridiculous. It made no sense. It didn't make me like anybody, and it was just, it was complete nonsense, and it wasn't even like. So I've got no problem with a film that's nonsense and fun. I like films that sometimes you just want a film where you can turn your brain off and then
Yeah.
enjoy the rubbish, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I get that. I like that, and I wonder if it was trying to be more clever than it really was, and I just thought it was stupid. So that's my first one.
Okay.
My second one, again, visionary director who some people like his films, some don't, and it's the Stanley Kubrick film. And I do like some Kubrick films. One of my favorites is the Kubrick film, like Full Metal Jacket, amazing film. But 2001: A Space Odyssey,
Right.
It's stupid, long, slow, and boring. And if you look at the scores on IMDb, Internet Movie Database, it's all, I think it's like over 8 out of 10. But you see so many people putting 10, 10, 10. This is amazing. It makes me want to punch myself in the face. I've tried to watch it over the last sort of 20 years. I've probably tried to watch it about 4 or 5 times, and I just think it's a pile of dog poop. It's awful,
Right.
and I just struggle with that. So they're my first two, and then third one. Third one, it's a bit weird. It's a film that I actually really liked when I was sort of, I guess I must have been about 18 or 19 or 17 or something when it came out. And in my head, it was a good, fun, one of the, as I said, a film where you turn your brain off and you just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I rewatched it a couple of weeks ago on holiday, and that is Conair.
Okay.
And that's with Nicolas Cage, and it's a Jerry Bruckheimer film. And I don't know whether it's just Jerry Bruckheimer and Nicolas Cage making bad films, but as a youngster, and I don't know, maybe I've grown up a little bit. I loved it, and I found it thoroughly disappointing and just ridiculous beyond belief. And even though I was trying to do the whole turn my brain off and enjoy the spectacle, it was awful. And I'm trying to figure out how did I enjoy it so much when I was sort of 18, 19, and now I've seen it again. It's like, what was I thinking? Part of it might have been because John Cusack in the film was wearing a linen suit with sandals and white socks. That might have tipped the balance. But yeah, the film I enjoyed as a kid, and yeah, maybe that was it. But the whole film was just utter animal poop again. But I loved it when I was young.
On every one of your suggestions. Oh. There you go. It's gone. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I've got you. Yep, it sort of froze there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, my headset keeps shutting down for some reason. Sorry.
Lex says, "Oh dearly, I think you have let adulthood screw your brain."
Yeah, quite possibly.
I have to make an admission. I have not seen any of those films. None of them.
I wouldn't waste your time.
So in that sense, I can't really decide, and I'm not going to save any for that reason. I will let the chat do the deciding, but I can't argue anything because I've never seen any of them. The one thing I can say is I'm not a fan of Nicolas Cage. Yes, Susan, I'm sorry, but I find him samey. Like in this, the couple of things I've watched, like I find
he does overact a bit.
Has this just moody, kind of, I'll hate 2001, but enjoy the other two. We shall see. I just can't get away with it. It just always looks like he's in the bad mood and a bit in a huff. That's the kind of vibe he gives us. Like, Yeah.
I think
Anyway.
he's been really hit and miss, and I think as he's got older, I'm sure I heard that he had money problems, and he's basically having to take any film that they're offering him now to stop from being bankrupt. So that's why basically anything in the last 10 years is pretty much a terrible film. If Nicolas Cage is in it, I think he just got himself into a bit of a silly financial position. Maybe he should start reselling.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It'll be all right.
You might have a few props and stuff or something.
Exactly.
Could start there. All right, so people of the chat, if you want to banish Mad Max Fury Road, type Max. If you want to banish 2001 A Space Odyssey, type 2001. And if you want to banish Conair, type Air. Lex says, please note, if you put Kubrick in the bin, I will hunt you all down. Just saying. Different when they destroyed my childhood the other week. They didn't mind.
I'm just going to grab something.
No bother.
If Lex is a Kubrick fan, she'll like this.
All right.
Bought myself a present a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago. If I can open the blooming thing.
Well, it looks like Mad Max Fury Road has got it.
Yay!
So Lex is happy.
So Lex might like that. That is
Hold on, I'll put
from
you
the
on
movie Full Metal Jacket.
big speaker. There you go.
So Lex, you might like that. So this is from Matthew Modine in Full Metal Jacket. He wrote a diary and took photographs throughout the making of the film, because I think it took nearly 2 years to make. But this is a signed copy from Matthew Modine of his diaries and photographs throughout the making of the movie.
She says, "Oofed, that's sexy."
So it's the first edition, first print, and it's signed, and I got a certificate of authenticity as well. So yeah, bought that as a little present for myself.
Okay, just take her. Very nice. This is my rifle. This my gun. I'm guessing that's one of the scenes from. I don't understand it. I'm just guessing. What happened to Matthew Modine? He was young and handsome one day and old and ugly the next. I have no clue, Stephen. No clue. All right. So, as I said, that was Mad Max and Fury Road.
I'm happy with that.
And I think Lex is calmer now because of that.
Good. Wouldn't want to offend Lex.
Yeah.
When a couple of years ago, when I went to there was Nick and Andrea set up a resellers Christmas meetup, and I wasn't a YouTuber at the time. I was just sort of watching, and Lex was. I think she was the first person I spoke to, and she came up and gave me a hug and introduced herself, and basically, yeah, very friendly, and harangued me through the night. It was good fun.
Susan says, I always want to offend Lex. All right. Moving on to the next category. It's things people say.
Okay. This one, there's a little bit of irony in it as well, but it really winds me up when people say Pacific instead of specific. One of them is about a specific thing. The other is an ocean.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether people are just don't know the difference and think it's the same thing, or whether they're just getting tongue-tied. It just drives me mad. And I picked up on with a lady I used to work for a couple of years ago, and I know it wound her up, because if someone said Pacific instead of specific, she would just go, "What, the ocean?" and just stare at them. And I've started doing this now. And I did that in a meeting at work, but there were people in the meeting that were quite high up, and I don't think it went down particularly well. But oh well, it happens. So yeah, people saying Pacific when they mean specific, and it just drives me mad.
I'm
So
sure this was in the very first Spanish room we did, which was the Tap Doctors.
oh
I'm
yeah,
sure it had the same issue. Used
oh
to drive him
really?
mad as well. Yeah,
Ah,
I'm
good,
sure
good,
it was
good.
him. It was someone. Someone will tell us who it was. I think it was, but I might be wrong. Apparently, Susan says Pacific means peaceful.
Didn't know that.
Neither did I. Oh, Nia's just said Ian hates this too. Yes, I thought it was him.
Oh, good,
Yeah, I
good
was right.
stuff.
I was right. Okay, so your
Next one
second choice? Mm-hmm.
is more of, I don't know if it's something. It's something you see on signs in shops, and it's when they say up to half price off. It's either
Mm.
up, it's either up to half price or it's half off. You can't have up to half price off. It's just bad English, and it just winds me up. So I don't know. I'm a bit of a, I get angry over silly things, and that makes me very angry. So that was a silly one there, and
Right.
just the third one. It's something that's only bothered me since I became a reseller and sourced stock at Car Boots, and that is when people tell me, "Oh, that's brand new." Well,
Mm.
it's clearly not a brand new pair of shoes. I can see they've been worn, and I used to just go, "Oh, okay," and not say anything, and now I just say, "Well, actually, they're clearly not," and I don't know. I'm just an angry old man now. So if it's not brand new, I will point it out, and I'll do it quite loud, and I'm a bit rude about it now. I've got the arse with it. I had it. There was someone who was selling a Le Creuset pan, and again they said that's brand new. So well, you sure? Because there's food. You can see there's food ingrained into it. No, it's new, but there's food in it. You haven't even washed it. So
Mm.
yeah, just people telling me it's brand new when it is not. So yeah, that'll be my my third one.
Okay. So if someone says that something's brand new when you can clearly see it isn't,
Yeah,
it's you know. I mean, you could say, "Oh, I've used them once; they're nearly new," or
yeah,
hardly worn, or whatever. But to say something is brand new
yeah,
when you clearly can see that they've been used,
yeah.
it's not the same. It's
Uh,
not the same. It's,
and we wouldn't
yeah.
be able to get away with it if we're selling it on eBay. So I guess I started off being less rude, and it was like, "Oh, you mean nearly new?" No, no, it's brand new. Okay, they've been worn, and yeah, I just get a little bit
Yeah.
angry now. Maybe I haven't had enough coffee in the morning.
I agree with you on that. It's annoying. Um, right. I'm gonna have to. So what you said was you don't like it if they say up to 50% off.
Oh, it's up to half. It was up
What
to
was it you
half
said?
price off. It's up.
Oh,
It's
up
either
to
half
half price
price
off.
or up to half off, but it's not up to half price off. So
Yeah.
it's just bad
It's
English.
just adding the off bit in it. Yeah. It's not something that probably bothers me, but I guess if I was, yeah, like buying things to resell, then I would probably get annoyed.
And I guess with the up to half price off, it doesn't actually impact my life in any way other than the fact that it's just bad English. It doesn't impact me at all. It just annoys
Yeah.
the hell out of me.
Yeah. Okay. And then the last one is the whole Pacific unspecific thing.
Yeah,
I get that as well. It's like I genuinely think the people see it think they're actually saying it right.
that's why I pick them up and say, "What, the ocean?" every time now. I don't care who
Yeah.
they are. And if they say, I go, what, the ocean? And I will do that.
So whether I don't know why they think it's, unless they hear it the same, but or just not paying enough attention and then use the word. I don't know. Right. Having said that,
Maybe they should have tried harder in geography at school.
In Helen, was it Helen Pierce? We were talking the other night, and they did that thing. We are the management. If your name's not, well, I thought because it was until they had said it. They said if your name's not down, you're not coming in. I thought they were saying if your name's not Dan. Sort of for like yes. I've thought it was you can only get in if you can't. So maybe, I mean, mine's genuinely, I heard it wrong. It just, So that's my excuse. Anyway, I'm not saving any of these. I'll let the chat decide. So, if you want to banish people who say Pacific instead of specific, then put Pacific, and then we can banish it. If you want to banish people who say up to half price, is it up to half price off? I wrote notes.
Yeah, up to half price off. It just annoys me. Yeah,
up to half price off, then put off. And if you want to banish, that's brand new, and it clearly isn't, put new. Yeah, exactly. Only Dan's in this club. I truly thought, and Carmen saying she thought that too. That's what I thought. And I heard the whole we are the management, and then it was like, if your name's not down, you're not coming in. That's what it sounded like, right? Not down. I think it's going to be the new thing. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, quite a lot. There's quite a lot of news, quite a lot of Pacifics.
Yeah.
I think maybe news. I think.
Yeah, I think it's the new. Yeah, new. So banish that one. People who say things are new, when they clearly aren't. Do you feel like saying, did you just take them out the box and like chuck them about the floor here and then put them back in, just, for a laugh?
Exactly. I do think now that if it's a pair of shoes, I'm going to point out the dirt. And, I don't know.
Yeah. You call them for a recount.
Oh.
You're not going to make me recount it, are you, Stephen? I'll count it just to be awkward. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, it's 12 each.
Oh. Blimey.
Woo!
So what happens there if they're a tie then? Do they both go in?
I've never had it. Have I had it done before? I've had a tie. I don't know if. I don't think I have. I can't think of it. But
a couple more news in there now. Well,
you can't
both
put
from
more
Nick.
news. I tell you what. I'll let you decide. So you can pick between Pacific and specific, or brand new, or whatever.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to go with. I think the one that winds me up the most is Pacific.
Specific and specific.
Yeah.
There you go then. We'll go with that one.
I want everyone in the chat, if you hear someone do it and say it incorrectly, please feel free to say, what, the ocean? I see Nick says there's a grumpy old man postcard in the post for me.
Have you joined the ranks?
A membership card, yeah.
Well,
with the grey hair a little while ago.
Tam says it. I think Tam said earlier that it annoys him when people say asked instead of asked.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I asked that. No, you didn't. You asked. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah. All right. So moving on. Next one is drinks.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one. Have you ever had bubble tea?
No, but I've heard of it.
I first had it about 18 years ago when I was out in Singapore, and it's
Right.
I can't remember exactly what's in there, but there's some sort of I think it's tapioca that is like a bubble, and they put flavor in it within a drink. So basically, instead of a normal size straw, you've got a big fat straw. So as you're drinking the drink, you get these little bubbles of different flavors come up, and then through the end of the straw pop into your mouth, and then you get a different flavor. I'm going to take this from something I saw in the chat earlier, which was about the aubergine. It's like snotty oysters. I don't get it. It's just like I don't want different textures in my drink. I want a drink to be one texture. Why would I want it to have an explosion of snot? It's just I don't get it. So I think things have moved on, and there's lots more different flavors
So
nowadays. But it's I just don't get it.
if it's tapioca and it's this
Oh,
flavored
Mandy Bloom,
snot.
she said it's like frog spawn tea. It is. It's like little balls of weird,
Yeah.
and I just. Ugh. Oh, Kathy said, yeah, it's tapioca. I just.
Stephen, is it made from Michael Jackson's monkey?
Oh, poor old Bubbles.
Poor Bubbles, yeah. Why did they call it a tea?
I think originally when I had it 18 or so years ago, it was tea with these other bubbles in it, and as it's become more popular, there's more and more different flavors. So it may not necessarily be tea now, but the first ones I had were tea, and it was minging.
Yeah, it
So
sounds minging, to be fair.
not for me, but my eldest, she's 11 years old. She loves it. So whatever, I don't get it. So
Okay. And your second choice?
second one. So this might be due to a drinking incident when I went to uni.
Okay.
Red Bull, and I might have had a little Red Bull and vodka, which ended up with. Let's say that I went across Portsmouth in a shopping trolley. I fell asleep in the nightclub toilets, and I was rather ill that night, vomiting, and then the next day, all day. And now, even just the smell of Red Bull, I can't go near it. Just the smell of it makes me want to be sick. So it's a self induced problem. Is my own damn fault for having a lot too much. I had probably 2/3 of a bottle of vodka. So it was.
I'm trying to think because you're blaming the Red Bull, but
But the
actually,
smell of the Red Bull, it was the vodka that made me ill.
yeah.
But it's the smell of the Red Bull. I can't even smell it now. It just makes me feel sick. I can't go. I haven't tasted it since that night. I think I must have been 19, and I can't even just the smell of it now, 20 odd years later, and it makes me feel like I'm going to be sick. I can't go near it. It's awful. But it was the vodka's fault.
Yeah.
So I'll go with Red Bull. I'm still friends with vodka. Vodka is a very good friend of mine.
Friends with him. Okay. So what's your last choice?
Last one. So this might be a bit controversial. So it's an alcoholic beverage, and it's whiskey. Now I like my rums. I can taste the differences. I've got 17 or 18 different bottles of rum on the go, and they're all got different flavor profiles, and I like that. And I know it's the same with whiskey. You can get ones that are smoky, you can get ones that are peaty. The aging process makes them smoother, and you can all do different things with whiskey. I get the effort and the skill and the everything that goes into it. I don't like it. I've tried it on many occasions, and I also thought I like rum. Why wouldn't I like whiskey? Because of the you know, they're both a dark spirit. I thought, well, is it because I've tried cheap whiskies? Should I try more expensive whiskies?
Yeah.
Then went to my stag do. I went to Edinburgh, and in one of the bars, they had like a whiskey tasting menu. So I thought, oh, this is a good opportunity to try some more expensive ones. So we basically got 4 shots, and it was equivalent of like I think it was your £15 bottle, your £35 bottle, your £85 bottle, and a £100 bottle, and you had a little shot of each one. And could I taste the difference between them? Yes. Did I like any of them? No. I can't stand whiskey. I don't know what it is, because in my head I should like it, and I don't. But I do love rum, so I just, yeah, it's a bit odd.
Mm.
So yeah, whiskey I'm going to put in there, and that's a
Okay.
controversial one.
Starting with the whiskey, I have tried it once. I found it like burned the back of my throat. Didn't like it. Never tried it since. Have no intention to. Not my thing. That's about as much as whiskey goes. Um, Red Bull. I don't like energy drinks. I don't like the look of them. They look like, you've really got something seriously wrong with your weight or something. Do you know what I mean? They're like, yeah, like you like, I don't know. And the smell like weed that's been sat there for about 20 years or something. That's how it smells to me.
It
Not
doesn't
that I
look
know
good.
what weed smells like when it's been sat there for 20 years. I've just never thought. Anyway, it doesn't look good. I don't get why people like my son drinks them, and I just not Red Bull. He drinks Monsters, but same difference to me.
Yeah,
But,
it's basically all energy drinks I don't really get, but it's just that
yeah,
smell of
yeah.
Red Bull.
If you'd have been trying to banish the vodka for your drinking, then I would have been saving that. Like, to be fair, because that's
Oh, I don't worry. I'd like a vodka.
and this bubble tea annoys the life out of me that they call it tea to one.
Mm.
Like, yeah, um, yeah. No, I just don't. I don't get it. Like, I know that I think it was Joan who said, um, what colour is soda? I think it was, um, I can't remember now. Was it bubblegum soda or something? She said.
Oh, right.
Never, I think, but no. Um, no, I'm not saving any of these. Let the people decide. So, if you want to banish bubble tea, put bubble. If you want to banish Red Bull, put red. And if you want to banish whiskey, put whiskey. I figured if I said put bull, then Google might say, "Oh, I'm writing bull for like." So we shall see. Loads of bubbles straight off the top there. Has Laney saved anything yet? Um,
Don't think so.
I don't think so. Actually, have I not? Mm-mm. No, I can't think. I can't see anything I've saved. Bubble because of the name. It's not tea. I think as well. Yeah, I think that's bubble. It's a couple of whiskies, a couple of reds there, but the majority have gone bubble tea. So we shall banish that.
Yay.
Yay! All right, and the last category, which is your random mix, which means you can pick anything you like.
Slugs. I hate
Slugs.
slugs. We've got we've got an old 1930s house, which means we've got quite a big garden. So because of that, we've got the bottom end of the garden we've turned into an allotment, and I just
Mm.
eat all the. I'm trying to teach the kids where food comes from, so I'm trying to grow some veg, and I just they're eating the stuff I'm trying to grow. B, they're disgusting. At least a snail has the decency to have a house, and I can pick him up by a shell and throw him over the fence. But slugs are just disgusting, and I don't want to put the chemical killer stuff out because I'm trying to grow tomatoes and whatever else. So it ends up with me getting them on a trowel and launching them over the back fence into a car park. So some poor bugger's going to end up with flying slugs hitting his car, but they're just absolutely disgusting. And just had a flashback to a friend. We're having some drinks at a friend's house, and one of the girls was sitting on a lounger, and then went to put her trainers on, not realising that a slug had gone into her trainer. So that was nice. So yeah, putting your foot into your shoe and then squashing the slug up the inside of it. Yeah, that's not nice for anyone. So I hate slugs. 2, I guess this is me coming from being a sort of a parent again. I'm a bit worried about how commonplace lots of sort of minor cosmetic procedures are now. Things like 20-year-old girls getting Botox and cheek fillers and lip plumping, and it scares me a little bit that it's making youngsters think that it's normalizing a lot of that, and it does make me worry a bit. And I think part of it is I guess you got people with a lot of mental health sort of issues as well and self-esteem issues, but it's not really the way out, and I worry that it then becomes a cycle of people do that and they keep going and doing more and more, and I do worry about that. So it sounds like a weird thing. Just be as you are, be yourself. I just find it a bit odd. And I worry for my 11-year-old that if she sees that being the norm, that obviously impacts on people's psyche and what have you. So yeah.
Yeah, can't argue with that. What's your last choice?
Last one, gambling adverts. We banned smoking adverts quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
And why, if gambling is such a massive problem for the UK, you've got so many people, like I'm sure I read somewhere that the poorest towns in England have the most bookies and stuff like that. And whenever you watch TV, I try not to watch TV live because I like fast forwarding through the adverts. I haven't got time to waste on adverts. And all you see is all these bloody gambling adverts telling you about responsible gambling. How about not bloody advertising? And if people want to gamble, they can go and find it themselves. Stop advertising it because and telling us how responsible you are, because you're not responsible because you bloody advertising it, and it does ruin people's lives, and it really annoys me that that gambling adverts are allowed. I think it's probably because they're not outlawed because of the tax that the government probably make out of it. But I hate gambling adverts. So yeah, by all means, let people gamble, but they let them find it on their own. Don't shove it in their faces.
Yeah. All right. So I totally agree on the gambling adverts, right? And I find that essentially it's just an advert. It's advertising gambling. It's not advertising the need to stop or all of that. Not really. It's just saying, and it's usually kind of,
look how much fun we're having, spending all our money, and you might win. Yeah, have fun. It's not fun.
Yeah, and it's like it's usually like some stern blow, and I think Sharon said one of them, when the fun stops, stop. You know what I mean? Kind of. It's ridiculous. Like you said, the cigarettes were banned from advertising. That should be too. Like in all ways. Like if you're going to find something, they can have the advertisement of the responsible gambling on their site.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And bring all that up there rather than advertising it, because for someone who may be avoiding gambling, that could trigger them to go on and then do it because it's there. You know what I mean? So
exactly, and it can like a lot of things. It can ruin people's lives if they fall down that hole. So
yeah. The cosmetic procedure thing, I totally agree, and I think we're in this sort of era now where young girls are doubting the way they look and all of that sort of thing because they see on the media these supposed perfect bodies, and yet those people who are out there who are creating these social media perfect body sort of accounts, as it were, are probably struggling so much. And I did watch something before that was similar, like in that the girl was talking about um, how extreme her mental health was, how she worried about it, how she had to like do this and do that and have her nails done and all these things had to be done and this perfection, and if it wasn't put out there, you know what I mean? And I'm
yeah,
like, but then that's such a massive headache. How do you then be yourself?
it puts
Do you
so
know what
much
I mean?
pressure on people
Yeah,
to be something that they're not. It's just, if you dial it
exactly.
back a little bit, and by all means, there's, you know, yeah, I think the moment it goes from makeup to injecting your face with poison, yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit of a step. I think it does worry me.
yeah. And especially for those, like you said, if you're 20-year-old, you don't have wrinkles and things like that. Why are you getting Botox so your head
Yeah,
doesn't move? Like it's not necessary. And I think you're trying to fix something that and even, I mean, Katie Price, who Sharon's brought up there, 'cause she really dislikes her, she has issues
yeah,
around her own physical appearance, that as far as I'm concerned, and that's why she continues to get these treatments. Like, it's one thing, something that is helping you and fixing you. So I can understand someone who's lost a lot of weight wanting to get like their skin removed or whatever,
different
because
thing. That's a
it's a
different thing.
different thing,
Yeah,
totally different thing. But if you're 20 and you're trying to fix, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me. And obviously because that's all out there and it's everywhere, you know, general normal people, we should celebrate just normal. We should,
yeah,
that's what I mean. It's like we should just celebrate that so that
yeah,
people can feel better about themselves.
definitely.
There's so much pressure, and it's like it's just really hard and awful for everyone, really. Um, okay, the last thing. Now, I don't like slugs, and I'll explain a story.
Oh yeah.
Um, before I moved into where I am now, I had like an upstairs, downstairs, but I couldn't go up the stairs anymore because my knees were knackered. So I had like I literally had a bed in my sitting room for me, right? And I, we were always getting slugs in the house.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we used to get them in the house. It was annoying. Like there was really like, I lived at the bottom of a bank, and the water used to come down, and then
Oh no.
it was the right nightmare. Anyway, so that being said, I'd getting out of bed this one morning, well, in the night I think it was, and I had nothing on my feet. Stood up. Yeah, you can imagine, right? So I was horrified. I ran to the toilet, did what I do, dived back into bed, and thought, right, I'm going to clean that up tomorrow because the whole squidge, the lot. Um, I woke up the next day and there was like a circle patch of slug juice, we'll call it, on the
Oh.
floor, really thick, no slug, no slug. And I'm like, where? What? Can it even survive? Like, has its family come for it? Like, and then held like the funeral for it or something? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, where's this slug gone? It's mental. So that freaked me out. Now I've always had issues with them. Never liked them. They don't look very appealing, and the whole gloopiness. Yeah.
I thought you were
Uh,
going to say that you then found it stuck to the bottom of your foot still.
no. Never found it. Never recovered. Never recovered.
Wow.
Um, so wherever it went, I don't know. I mean, whether it survived, how it moved from there, I'll never know. Don't know how it survived. Like even a normal weight of a person would have been a big issue to a slug, but like, you know, still can't get it. So that's me story. Then a couple of weeks ago, obviously since I started taking photographs, things have changed a lot for me in the way I view point insects, especially because I was always freaked out by them. Anything, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always freaked out by them. But like because of that, they've changed a lot. And also Susan has said to me, you know, many a times that these insects are food for other creatures, and you know what I mean. And I get that. I do. I understand it now. And my friend's daughter, she's about 6, I think, and she picks every. She's one of them kids that like, you know, she'll have a worm and she'll have a this and she's one of them, right? And she asked her mum about slugs and snails once, and she made the decision that slugs. It was really sad because slugs didn't have a home, so there must be like a homeless person, and like she decided that there were homeless snails, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, do you know what I mean? It was so like sort of sweet, but also, and the reason I'm saving slugs is because they're needed for food for whatever it is that keeps, you know, whether it be hedgehogs or birds or
the birds. Yeah, no, that's fair.
whatever. So I'm going to keep the slugs. I understand that there can be a pain with regards to gardening and things like that, and I don't know.
That's another reason why I don't poison them, because if I worry if the birds then eat them, if the birds are getting poisoned.
Yeah. So obviously that's my and even though I still have a dislike of them, I can, you know, dislike them from a distance. But I used to be terrified of bees and wasps and stuff, you know, and now I'm like quite there, like just take photos. That I just, and you know, they just crack on. They're not bothered. As long as you're not bothering them, they're not bothered. So
something freaked me out the other day. I was digging up because I'm going to be building a big shed. I was digging some of the area out to start sorting out the footings, and as I dug out some of the soil, 2 bees came out. They dug into the soil and they came out from the soil. I looked it up after. They're called minor bees. I'd never heard of that before. So I'm hoping they're all right, because I sort of disturbed wherever they were living. But I don't know how the hell they dug down so deep. They had to have been sort of 3 or 4 inches underground. I don't know how they got down there, because I couldn't see any way they got in. But it like literally dug up a couple of chunks of earth. These 2 bloody bees come out. Anyway, I digress.
Susan's saying she doesn't love slugs, but she respects their existence. It's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
So, me one and only save. So, as for the other 2, obviously I'm going to put that to the chat. So, if you want to banish cosmetic procedures, then put cosmetic. And if you want to banish gambling adverts, put adverts. So we shall see. Slug mating flowers are amazing to see. Slug mating flowers?
I'm going to have to Google that.
Yeah, I'm worried with Sylvia though. Oh, I think. Kath sent us a picture saying, oh, I don't know if that's going to show because it's.
Oh, wow.
Cosmetic surgery, it's saying as it turned her into an alien. The thing is with that as well, though, there has to be like a law in it, surely, because to me, that's kind of as bad as, you know, like other things. If like someone's allowing you to do it, if they were giving you drugs or something, or if they were giving you whatever, it shouldn't be allowed.
It definitely becomes an addiction, and they'll try one sort of procedure, and then it will go on and on and on and on, and people don't know when to stop. And I'm not saying that all cosmetic surgery is bad. There are obviously reasons that people need to do it, but I just worry about these beauty
when you're
ones.
younger, when you're impressionable, like really young, like that, You know what I mean? You shouldn't be having to worry about like
Yeah.
those things. You
I think it's hard
shouldn't.
enough growing up as it is, let alone without sort of those additional pressures.
So Sylvia's, it's when slugs are mating, they fan out and they look like flowers wrapped around
No,
each other. It's very weird.
never
Oh,
heard of that.
I don't know how you found out that, but it's not something I would have would find that out. But you know, all right, 1, 2. Stephen's abstaining. I think it's gambling adverts, from what I can see.
I think so.
Yep, gambling adverts. All right. See, we didn't have this like massive online culture, you know what I mean, that there is now, and the social media culture that people follow each other, and it's like a constant visual thing.
Yeah.
And I think for so many, it's that constant, like then not feeling good enough, which isn't, you know,
Yeah.
which is really hard if you've got like, you know what I mean, if it's like,
And it's happening at a much younger age than it used to.
Yeah, definitely, shouldn't be an issue. Should just be, you know, kind of happy and free type of thing. Like it's the one time of your life that you don't have the responsibility, or you know, in a lot of cases, I know a lot of children have other issues, or could have like lost parents or become carers or whatever it is. But yeah. Anyway, that was fab. Thank you so much. I hope
Thank
you
you.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. Very, very cathartic. I got a lot off my chest.
Yeah, you can just like now you can just like breathe and sort of chill out and that. Um, so yeah, as I said earlier on, Lee, his channel, which is KOLA Flipper, is underneath the description box. So please make sure that you know, go and subscribe if you haven't already. Nick's just back in the room wherever he went. Stephen said, girls in their teens have Botox to stop getting wrinkles rather than to get rid of them. Well, is that what it does? But surely that's. It's not. I still think it's.
It's crazy.
Yeah. From personally, I still and Susan's also shared your link there.
Oh,
So
thank you, Susan.
The Banish bin will be back next week. I've got Ali Bowes. I think that's how you pronounce Ali's surname. Not sure if you're still here, Ali. She will be on, and after this, I will be back in 10 minutes. Because I'm doing Chatty Tuesday. Today marks 2 years of me being on YouTube, which is mad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Happy
2
YouTube
years from
birthday.
my first, yeah. 2 years from my first video today, which is weird.
Wow.
It's flew. Absolutely flew. Yeah. So, yes, you've got 10 minutes. Go and get a wee, a drink, a cigarette, whatever you're having. And I'll see you back in here in 10 minutes. And thank you again, Lee. I shall end this and we'll say bye.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, chat.